my WIP and chat on lovely Lumina. As I've explained before, I am doing a collab with Brandy of Mystery Diamonds. Go check out her channel if you have not. She is awesome. Love her. We have become dear friends, and it's been a really fun process. And lovely Lumina, we want to see your progress. You don't have to be working on Lumina at all, but if you are, or any other diamond painting you're working on, if you are collabing with us and joining in with us, post your pictures on Instagram. Let us know about your progress. We want to see your progress. The hashtag for our collab is Lovely Lumina, capital L, hashtag Lovely Lumina. So I have just started the white section. Essentially what I'm working on is I guess the person has come to get their fortune told, and she does her magic, and then I guess this is a sheet of paper coming out of the machine telling them what their fortune is going to be. So that is what I'm starting on today. As you know, Brandy and I both have educational stories to share. Brandy is a high school teacher. I'm a junior high principal, and so we have funny stories to share about our experiences in the education world. And today, I've said this before, but before I became a junior high principal, I was an elementary principal. Y'all, working with elementary is hysterical, especially kindergartners and first graders. They say the most classic things, they do the most classic things, and you just can't help but absolutely love them. So I'm going to talk to you about life with kindergartners as a principal. I was a fourth grade teacher before I became an instructional coordinator and an assistant principal, so I did not get to have the fun that my kindergarten teachers did teaching kindergartners on days when it was too hot, or I remember we had soccer goals outside, and a swarm of bees made a hive in the soccer goal, so kindergarten could not go out to recess. That is doomsday for kindergarten teachers, because they have got to get out and run and get out all that extra energy. Another thing that kindergarten teachers have to do is, if they are having a discussion with their class, or they're in circle time and they're asking the kids questions and they're all raising their hands and they all want to talk, you have to ask, is this a story or a question? What is it? And most of the time they won't even know the difference. So I've had to literally have teachers give kindergartners 3 poker chips or 3 tokens of some sort and say, okay, these are your 3 comments for this discussion. You get 3. That's all you get, because a lot of them want to comment a lot. Another thing about kindergartners is the buses. So kindergartners, when an adult asks them anything, their name, anything, half the time they don't even speak. So what's your name? What's your address? Do you know your bus number? We color-coded our buses, especially for kindergartners. And I thought this was a brilliant idea. Okay, let's color code the bus. So you're on the green bus, and you're on the blue bus, and you're on the pink bus. So we tag them up with all their information on it, so the bus drivers know where they're going with them. I had probably half a dozen kids outside getting ready to get on their buses. And of course, they're all yellow buses, but we have the colored paper in the window to let them know this is the pink bus, this is the blue bus. Well, about 6 of them started bawling on the first day of school. They're all yellow! They're all yellow buses, miss! Very upset by that. They expected a physically pink bus to show up to pick them up, and when that didn't happen, they weren't too happy. So that's funny. Having kindergartners come to your office for possibly making some wrong choices. First time I had to talk to a kindergarten student as a principal, I will never forget this. I was, and when you talk to kindergartners, yes, you need to let them know that what they did was not a good choice because they ended up in my office, but at the same time, you can't treat them like a junior high kid, or they end up crying and not listening to you anyway. So I was talking to this kid and I said, you're driving your teacher crazy. This behavior has got to stop. You need to think about what you're doing, and I need your behavior turned around. The kid literally looks at me and does a 360-degree turn in front of my desk and then smiles at me like, okay, does that make it better? I had to just put my head down so I wouldn't crack up laughing because the kid literally took what I said and did what I asked. So anyhow, that was funny. Another funny story is he was a frequent flyer, but he was such a cutie patootie. You just couldn't stay mad at him, but he was in my office at a regular pace. He was, again, one of my frequent flyers. And ended up having to go get him. He held my hand with his little hand, and we walked to the office, and I'm talking to him for the umpteenth time, and I'm going, you cannot make the choices you're making. Your teacher is sad. I am sad. What are you doing? What's going on? Are you mad at something? He runs around my desk, jumps in my lap, throws his arms around my neck and says, I am having a horrible, terrible, horrible day. I just can't take it anymore. And he starts sobbing and just hugs my neck. Well, what do you do at that point? I mean, oh my gosh. So I just hugged him back and said, okay, we're going to start over. But it was so funny the way he said it. And, I said, you know what? Sometimes I have days like that too. I get it. Because we all do. I'm having a terrible, horrible day. Another funny story was when I was an assistant principal. I had a kindergarten student show up at my office door and say, Miss, you need to come to the computer lab right now. My teacher is very upset, and we need to have you come and talk to a student that's said a very bad word. And I said, oh, okay. So I head to the computer lab, and the child that came to get me was all too happy to point out the student that said the potentially horrible word. And I said, well, what did he say? And the student said, he said the F word. The F word. And I'm thinking, whoa, kindergarten saying the F word. All right. And I looked at the child and I said, just to be sure, I said, can you whisper what the child said in my ear? You won't get in trouble. I just want to know what you heard. You are the witness. And so he comes up to me and whispers in my ear, damn. I looked at that kindergarten teacher and I said, you better be getting on letters and sounds right now because, okay. I mean, I have funny stories about kindergartners all over the place. They're so cute and so funny. There's a big joke going around on Facebook about if we have to go back to school in face masks and what we would be saying to the kids. Don't use your mask as a slingshot. Don't snap your neighbor's mask. Put your mask on. Well, perhaps your mask broke because you were wearing it around your knee as a knee pad. Don't try to eat through your mask. You blew your nose with your mask, or you picked your nose with your mask. Oh, gross. We have student IDs, and just the grossness of the kindergartners from chewing on it, everything else is just bleh. But yeah, that's what it's going to be like for those poor kindergarten teachers that come back. Okay. And if we have to wear masks, I feel very badly for them. Okay, so another thing I've got is not something that I've experienced, but I read it and I just cracked up. And this is about first graders. And I have notes, sorry, because I want to remember all of these for you. First grade school teacher had 26 students in her class. She presented each child in her classroom the first half of a well-known proverb and asked them to come up with the remainder of the proverb. It's hard to believe these were actually done by first graders. So, I'm going to read you the first part of the proverb, and then I'm going to read to you what the child responded with. And this is what makes education so entertaining because they're so stinking cute. All right, the first one. Strike while the bug is close. Don't change horses until they stop running. Sorry, I actually need to beat my pen while I'm doing this, but they're so funny. Never underestimate the power of termites. You can lead a horse to water, but how? Don't bite the hand that looks dirty. I gotta change colors, folks. I'll continue in a second. what other ones do I have? Read a couple more while I'm deciding what to do. I'm going to do some more 310 80s. Okay, no news is impossible. A miss is as good as a mister. You can't teach an old dog new math. If you lie down with dogs, you'll stink in the morning. Love all, trust me. The pen is mightier than the pigs. An idle mind is the best way to relax. These are first graders coming up with these. So funny. All right, let me get some 310s in the tray and then I'll continue. And folks that have grandkids or younger kids, your kids tell on you. They do. And, you know, it goes without saying, I will not believe half of what they say if you don't believe half of what they say about what happens at school. Where there's smoke, there's pollution. Happy the bride who gets all the presents. A penny saved is not much. Two's company, three's the Musketeers. All right, it's hard to do this at the same time as diamond paint, but I'm gonna give it the old go. Oh, no, didn't mean to put that there. See, it's hard to whip and chat. Don't put off tomorrow what you put on to go to bed. Laugh and the whole world laughs with you. Cry and you have to blow your nose. Oh my goodness, my cameraman is full of effects. There is none so blind as Stevie Wonder. Children should be seen and not spanked or grounded. If at first you don't succeed, get new batteries. You get out of something only what you see in the picture box, on the box. When the blind lead the blind, get out of the way. A bird in the hand is going to poop on you. And the winner, this is the winner. This is the last one I've got for you, but this is hysterical. The winner is better late than pregnant. I just thought those were hysterical. Anyway. So yeah, I've had a lot of fun working with kindergartners. I've had a lot of fun working with junior high students. Oh gosh. It's a bizarre story about a junior high student. Well, a funny altercation I had with a junior high student. She was a pretty tough girl. I loved her. I did. She and I got along just great. But when she got mad, she would come to the office, get sent to the office. Miss Daniels, this sucks. And dropping the F-bomb every other word. And I finally looked at her, and I'm not going to say her name. I said, so-and-so, you cannot scare me. I have DirecTV. And she just shut up and started laughing. I said, yeah, you're not gonna scare me. Oh gosh, I'm trying to recall some more I'll tell you about my own son. That's pretty funny, my youngest. My youngest was with me throughout, and my oldest as well, throughout. My oldest was with me when I just first became a principal. Funny story about my oldest is the first faculty meeting I have. So I have 100 teachers in the library ready to meet. And he's in kindergarten. I put him in my office with donuts and chocolate milk, hopefully to keep him entertained and occupied. He was on my computer. And I said, whatever you do not leave this office. Do not leave. Yes, ma'am. Okay, I'm trusting you. I'm literally in the middle of a faculty meeting, in the middle. In he comes screaming, Mommy, I know you said not to leave your office, but I gotta go potty so bad. Well, I just At that point, I'd lost the meeting. Just, it was gone. Like, no, yeah, they were dying laughing. Another funny story about being a principal, and I had my youngest while I was a principal, and I remember I was running, of course, late one day, ran into the faculty meeting, and they're all looking at me strangely and laughing, and I'm going, what is so funny? I had fed Blake and left the diaper rag on my shoulder, so I was about to start the meeting with the diaper rag on my shoulder. So yeah, it happens. Funny story about my youngest again. He went kinder through 5th with me, like my oldest did, and the last day of 5th grade, I was so proud. We had just finished the 5th grade graduation. He comes into my office. Of course, I'm congratulating him, hugging him, and he takes a step back and he goes, Mom, and this is so Blake. He's just so like this. He goes, Mom, do you realize I am the only kid in this school, or that will ever be in this school, that can safely say I have been in the principal's office every single day? I had to start laughing. Yes, yes, you can. All right, I think I'm gonna finish up here. Relatively short whip and chat, I know. But again, I never wanna run out of things to say because that would get boring really quick. And I will think of some more stories. I'm gonna think about some junior high stories. I've got a few to tell you that are pretty funny. So junior high stories are very different, funny-wise, than kindergarten stories, but it's still in the sort of the same category. I mean, kids are just silly. They just are. Junior high kids are really silly. So, all right, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna continue to work on Lumina. Hope you've enjoyed some kindergarten and 1st grade humor today. Again, I'm gonna remind you, first of all, if you've just joined me and joined this Whip and Chat and wanna see more videos with pretty funny stories, consider hitting the subscribe button. I'm 7 people away from 500 subscribers, and remember, I've got that Chuck Pinson to give away when I hit 500. Very excited to do that. So hit the subscribe button and the bell, because the bell will give you a notification when I upload a video. I am gonna be doing an unboxing tomorrow, so you're gonna get a bonus video this week, which is exciting. So, gonna remind you. Also, Marlon wanted me to tell you about your comments. We read your comments. We read every one of your comments, Marlon and I, because Marlon gets feedback on what to show, what not to show, that sort of thing. And I get comments on, liked your story, you might want to try this, and we take those very seriously and we make adjustments based on them. So please feel free to leave a comment down below on what you liked, maybe something I can change up for you to make it a little bit better experience for you. But I'm gonna remind you, like I always try to, in a world where you can be anything, be kind. Remember that when you're leaving your comments too. Kidding. Anyway, all right, this is the Principal Painter, and I am signing off. Really?